2 hours. That's how long this game has to impress me enough to keep playing. Otherwise, it gets refunded through Steam's 2-hour refund policy. So, let's see if it has what it takes to pass the test. This is the Steam Refund Review. Shapez 2 is an early access factory automation strategy game developed by an indie developer named Tobespur Games. I think it's supposed to be similar to what you'd find in the factory management portions of games like Satisfactory or Factorio, but without as much sandboxy creative freedom or enemies to fight. The Steam description reads, dive into a factory building game with a focus on just that, building huge space factories. Construct sprawling multi-level factories and satisfying production lines without limits. Tackle increasingly complex automation challenges at your own pace. You won't have to worry about enemies. I got hopelessly addicted to Satisfactory in late 2024 when its 1.0 release came out, so we'll see if this game pulls me in like that one did. As I said, the game is still in early access, but even so, it already has nearly 10,000 Steam reviews with a whopping 98% of them being overwhelmingly positive. So we'll see if it'll get me sucked in like Satisfactory did. So as far as initial impressions, the game throws you right in with tutorials on how to play and lets you basically just get started with the automation right away. Like Satisfactory, I was given milestones to complete by sending a certain number of designated shapes down the vortex black hole thing that devours everything you create. I could pretty quickly tell that this is no Satisfactory, but is it still fun and addicting? Let's dig in just a little bit more to find out. So as I just mentioned, the game has you creating specific shapes initially using only circles and squares. Each circle and square extracted is divided into fourths, and the game has you cut the shapes, rotate them, and stack them to get the exact correct shape to produce and send off. As you complete these specific shape goals, you earn points to spend to upgrade things like your conveyor belts, cutters, and stackers so they can work more efficiently. And that's pretty much the gist of the game, but I can tell that it's going to get a lot more complicated than that as I continue to play. As soon as I zoomed out on the map, I saw this game's true scale, and it is massive. As far as I can tell, there's really no story in this game aside from ship the shapes out to satisfy the requests from... I don't know actually, where are all these shapes going and who's making all these ridiculous requests? I like the overall graphical design. It's futuristic and the graphics serve to be rather zen and almost reminds me of a souped up mobile game. The sound design was also good and added to the game's zen-ness. It was relaxing to see my shapes being sent off as my production lines became automated while being soothed by the calming lo-fi tunes. Alright, so time for my overall thoughts. Honestly, while I enjoyed the game, I was a little disappointed. I think I may be a little bit spoiled by Satisfactory, as this game seemingly has so much less to offer than it does. I enjoyed creating the shapes, but I really disliked that instead of making one production line and increasing its efficiency, I had to take down entire production lines each time a milestone was met. The reason for this was because each milestone seemed to have completely different shape patterns from the last. Unfortunately, it was much easier to just tear down the production lines than it was to add new things to the lines to produce the new required shape for the milestone. I think the thing that I love most about automation is keeping it automated, stockpiling whatever's being automated, and improving its efficiency every time you acquire a new item. And you just simply couldn't do that in this game, at least not in the first 2 hours, which is all I was able to play for the purpose of this review. The game is currently $25 on Steam, though that might change as it launches out of early access sometime soon. I don't think the official launch date has been announced, but the game seems pretty finished if you ask me. So I'd be surprised if it wasn't pretty soon. HowLongToBeat.com reports that it takes about 21 hours to beat and 62 hours to complete. So if this game looks right up your alley, I'd say the time you can get out of it and the relaxing experience is worth it. But for now, for me, in its current state at least, I'd give this game a 7 out of 10. I think it could get better when it's fully launched, but that's where it sits for me as of this review, 2 hours in. So will I keep playing or will I refund it? Unfortunately, I think I really have been too spoiled by Satisfactory. This game just doesn't give me the same creative control, and I don't feel like I'm actually able to build something that will last. Again, I disliked tearing down my factories after completing each milestone, and maybe that would get better if I played for more than just 2 hours. But in my 120 minutes of gameplay, that's how it was the whole time. And for that reason, for now, I'll be refunding this game as it just did not meet my expectations personally. I think the right person could find this game highly enjoyable and relaxing, but I'd rather go play Satisfactory for my 508th hour instead. Although I'll likely look back into this one when it releases into 1.0. So what do you think? Was this a bad call? What games do you want to see me review next in this format? Let me know down in the comments. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see y'all later.